everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Laura Afonso, live here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center for GoLocal Prob. And we are starting off our food segment today with lots of carbs, just good stuff to really, really fill you up. And we have our first guest, Chef Tino Franco. Thank you so much for joining us.
Excellent. My pleasure.
Absolutely. So you are the executive chef at Basta in the newly opened Bettola.
I am.
Yes. So lots of excitement going on in Cranston. We all think about Italian food, Federal Hill, but really you have to really think outside the box, and the box being Providence, and what is to offer outside of the city.
Yeah, I think Cranston's come a long way with restaurants, especially obviously Basta and Bettola. But the city itself is growing quite a bit, especially around the Chapel View area. So I think we're fortunate, and I think it's come a long way from what it used to be. Definitely.
Now let's start off, before we get into all of the good restaurant stuff, I'd love to hear about you as a chef. Okay. You're the executive chef, and I'm sure you have a lot on your plate as the leader of the kitchen. But tell me a little bit about your experiences, where you started off, how you got into cooking, and what brought you to Basta.
Well, started in the business when I was around 16 or 17 years old as a dishwasher. Kind of just a job at a high school, and kind of took a liking to food. I grew up, my grandparents were immigrants, and they cooked amazing Italian food. So it was one of those things where I was used to trying different things, and I'm not picky.
Yeah.
So going into restaurants and eating and being able to taste, touch, see everything was really appealing. So little by little, you work your way up. You're a dishwasher, you're a busboy, a line cook, a sous chef. I was a valet for a little while. So all over the place, but I really found a love for cooking and kind of stuck with it. And then, I was at a few places on Federal Hill, and then got the opportunity at Basta 6 years ago.
Wow, so you've been there for quite some time.
Yeah.
Yes. I love that story because really in a restaurant there are so many different roles to fill, both front of the house and back of the house. And, the need to go to culinary school and get that kind of training isn't necessarily, needed all the time. If you're actually learning by doing and having your hands in the kitchen and actually getting that experience, firsthand, it's all that matters.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of money on Amazon and books.
Yeah.
A lot of learning, a lot of going out to eat, experimenting, seeing what's out there.
Definitely.
But yeah, I think as long as you have the energy and the determination to learn, it's there.
Right, and it takes you all the way up to the top, executive chef.
It does.
Yes. So talk to me a little bit about the role of being an executive chef, and especially now having your time being split between two restaurants. What does your day-to-day look like? What kind of things do you have to do? You're not just always on the line. You must be moving around quite a bit.
Yeah, with two restaurants, we've definitely had the opportunity to build a great team. So we have two executive sous chefs working in each location, plus myself.
Wow.
And I float back and forth a lot between the two restaurants, sometimes daytimes in certain places and night times in others, really depending on what the demand is. But yeah, it's busy, but I feel like when you get into volume and you get into busy restaurants, organization is key, and I think that's one thing that we do very well. We're very organized with it. We're obviously learning as we go. We're a young restaurant group, but we're definitely well organized, so it makes things a little bit easier in the long run.
Definitely. You have to be well organized, I'm sure, in order to keep all of your ducks in a row.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. So just a quick fun question. What has been the funniest or worst thing that's ever happened to you working in the restaurant business?
So when I was very young, I was 15 or 16 years old, I had a busboy job at Marchetti's restaurant in Cranston. Way back. You could still smoke cigarettes in restaurants at that point.
Okay.
And
I remember.
and it was like my third day, and all the cooks in the kitchen had asked me to get them drinks. So I thought I'd be, I'm going to go get one big tray and run it back and do the right thing for all the cooks in the kitchen. It was like a hot summer day, and they had these two big swinging doors going into the kitchen. And as I walked back into the doors smashed me. I dropped the drinks everywhere and made a big fool out of myself. Everybody laughed at me, and I was soaked with soda for the rest of the shift.
Everyone points and laughs.
Yeah, exactly.
Look at this kid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no.
That was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, my gosh.
Lesson learned.
And it sticks with you forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure everybody has one of these stories.
Oh, I think everybody in the restaurant industry definitely does.
Definitely.
Awesome. So talk to me about Basta. It is just an exceptional Italian restaurant in Patuxent Village, which is a really lovely place.
It is.
If you haven't visited Patuxent Village, it's really a really quaint community, really wonderful atmosphere over there.
It is. The village itself is something that I was kind of new to when I came to Basta, but it's an absolutely beautiful area, and Basta itself it's unbelievable. It's a unique dining experience. It's an elegant atmosphere. It's very much a big city vibe when you come in. The design itself is unbelievable, and the same designer actually designed Bettola as well. It's magnificent, honestly. I love the restaurant itself. It's one of those things where you walk in and there's not a whole lot in your mind that you'd want to change. When you look at the design, the layout, everything makes sense. You know, you walk in the front door, you can see the entire restaurant. You can see the gold mosaic tiled pizza oven in the corner, the big long marble bar. So it really is a beautiful restaurant.
Definitely visual appealing.
It is, absolutely.
All right, so visually we've got that down. How are the taste buds?
The food is excellent. You know, I'm not saying that because I'm the chef there. Actually, I have a great team of people.
I can vouch. I've eaten at Pasta before, and I can definitely say that it is wonderful.
You know, it's a scratch kitchen, and again, we talk about high volume and organization, so there's a lot that goes into it. You know, we make 6-7 days a week. We're in there prepping, turning, cooking, you know, developing, figuring out, you know, what's a little bit modern but a little bit classic. What will be more of a comfort to the people that come in and not intimidate the guests.
Definitely.
You know, fresh pasta, the VPN pizza, the entrees, you know, whether it's dry-aged meats or, you know, excellent seafood or oysters in the summertime.
Yeah, oh my God, isn't that just the best?
It is.
Yes. Now, so you have a pizza oven in-house.
Yes.
And you also do really fantastic entrees as well.
Correct.
So what are some of your favorite things to be making in the kitchen?
I have to say, both pizza and pasta are, obviously as a chef, is very hands-on and very technique-driven. So those two are kind of the top two for me for what I enjoy. Especially making the pasta from the point in which you get the bag of flour until it goes in the machine and you actually make the pasta and then you're cooking it in the dish.
Yes.
It's pretty incredible.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, house-made pasta just makes all of the difference in the world, you know, in comparison to, you know, boxed pasta that's been dry.
Correct.
So tell me about the process of making fresh-made pasta and what about it makes it just that much better?
So obviously the fresh is number one.
Yes.
It's definitely not sitting on a shelf somewhere. So you know, we have these beautiful machines that the owner had refurbished. They're antique palm aroma machines that he purchased from somewhere in Italy, and he had somebody that specializes in repairing and you know, remodeling these machines. So we have certain dyes. So basically we get a semolina style flour, and depending on whether it's a ravioli, a long hair pasta, or a short pasta, you know, the hydration levels will change, certain ingredients will change, but overall you have your semolina flour that goes into the extruder itself, and you have these big brass dies, and you know, every die is a different cut of pasta. So whether it's a rigatoni or chiette, gnocchi, whatever it's going to be, you have a die for that. So it's a couple hours a day. You know, we spend down there in the basement. We have this giant prep area that we make all the pasta in.
It's labor intensive, but for very, very good reason.
It is. It really is.
Definitely. Now, when you, like you were saying, you walk into Basta, it's a really, really beautiful setting. I would say it's, you know, an ideal date night spot. It's very, like, almost romantic, suave, very nice. We have Valentine's Day coming up. Are you guys doing anything special?
Yes, absolutely. We have the Night of 1,000 Roses, as we call it, and we actually run it for 4 days now. It's going to be entertainment every night, and then we hang roses upside down from the ceiling. It looks like they're floating, a sea of roses, and we keep them up for the longevity of the night. So we have entertainment every night. We do a special menu for that. So Valentine's Day at Basta is one of the bigger weeks, bigger nights that we have.
That sounds like very special.
It is. It's excellent.
Yes. Now, 1,000 roses, that must take a long time to hang them up. How do you keep them fresh? I'm sure it is just a stunning, like, it looks probably like a piece of art.
It does, honestly, and the smell of the restaurant changes because of the roses themselves. You know, the process is developed and molded into something where now it's more mainstream for us. The first couple of years, you know, it's tough. You're trying to figure out who's going to get in there early and hang them all up. And, you know, learning lessons with the heat in the building where maybe it's too high, so some of them start to die. So we have a process now where we have a team that comes in during the day. One team will string them, one team will hang them, and then at the end of the evening, the management team will actually spray the roses themselves to make sure that they're fresh for the next day.
They're hydrated.
Correct. And if we do, I think last year we did like 5 days or 7 days. So if we go longer, then obviously we would actually replace the roses that are hanging and do the whole process over again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of roses.
It is. It is. But you know what? It's those little attention, that attention to detail that makes a difference for people.
I think that's a big attention to detail.
It is. It really
I think
is.
It's going to really make the evening.
It is. Yeah. It's that little extra.
Now, what kind of specials are we looking at for Valentine's Day?
You know, we tend to go, obviously, you know, everybody talks about aphrodisiac foods, and we definitely weigh in that direction. But we also try to do things that are elegant for people that they're going to enjoy. Surf and turf type of thing. We also have a truffle ravioli we'll be doing.
Oh my goodness.
We have oysters obviously we'll be doing for the evening.
Of course, have to have oysters for
Yep,
Valentine's
aphrodisiac
Day.
qualities. And we have a wonderful dessert we'll be doing as well.
Oh my gosh, that sounds really, really lovely. So if you're looking for Valentine's Day plans, something just that step above a dinner reservation, you're looking for a fantastic meal in a beautiful setting with an extra umph of beautiful roses in the atmosphere, it's just lovely.
It is.
Absolutely. So talk to me about Betula. It's the new sister restaurant of Basta.
It is.
Just opened up Rolf Square in Cranston. How is it going? What can we expect? What is it like in there?
So Betula was the reimagined take on the classic, pizzeria. So the owner had the idea to rejuvenate the classic vibe with the booths, the design, and then the food. Of course, we wanted to be Italian comfort food. We wanted it to be very simple, nothing intimidating, very easy for families, big parties, also for lunch, which will be starting tomorrow, and delivery as well. So we came up with a menu based upon some cool takes on comfort food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, both of these are from Betula here.
Correct.
So talk to me about what we've got.
So first we do sandwiches at Betula. We use this wonderful ciabatta bread made from DeStefano's Boston Bakery. And it has eggplant, pink vodka sauce, whipped ricotta cheese, artichokes, and baby arugula. And then here we have a pizza, which is the Marilyn Monroe, which is one of the more popular ones. Yeah, so all blonde. So,
nice.
So it has gorgonzola, ricotta cheese, fresh mozzarella, and then we finish it with Mike's Hot Honey is a wonderful product that we use a lot at the restaurant. It's out of Brooklyn, New York. You can buy it now, I think, at Whole Foods. Williams-Sonoma has it. And we finish it with a little crushed red pepper. So it's a lot of balance between like rich and spice and savory. It's really good.
Sounds like it's really good. Smells like it's really good, and I can only imagine. Can't wait to dive into that later. So hot honey, some red pepper flakes. So you've got a nice pop of heat in there, a little taste of tang of sweet.
Some salt from the cheese, yep.
Yeah. Sounds like a win.
It is a win.
Awesome. Now, I was looking at the menu, and I love that you guys have different options for build your own pizza. You have some fun toppings, something different that, not just your ordinary, margarita. You can pretty much do it all, but you have, options of a Bianco white sauce. You can do a pink vodka sauce on your pizza.
Correct.
So what kind of things are people getting creative with?
That was kind of one of the things when we started the restaurant was we wanted to have a cool take on pizza and have different option that not everybody else had. So the Bianco sauce, the vodka sauce, and the tomato is pretty straightforward, just really good San Marzano tomatoes. But people are adding everything. I mean, we have an option of egg yolk. We have the hot honey. We have prosciutto they can add. We have prosciutto di Parma, which is the same stuff we use at Basta. It's unbelievable. So they can add that, crispy chicken. We have truffle buffalo sauce that we have as well.
Oh my God, that sounds super good.
Yeah, it's really good. So we have a lot of cool different options that people can create. And, honestly, people have been great, very responsive about a lot of the Marilyn Monroe itself has been one of the bigger sellers. We have one Eddie Mushroom that's a big seller.
Yum.
So they're, honestly, they've been great. They really have. They enjoy everything. Everything's been going really well.
Awesome. Now, is there any difference between how you make your pizza at Basta versus how you make it at Betula?
There is, and that's an excellent question. So Basta is a VPN certified restaurant, so we have to stay within the guidelines of VPN, which tends to be much more strict about what we put on pizza, how we create the pizza, how we stretch the pizza, the olive oil, the tomato, the cheese, the oven, the wood.
Certain guidelines.
Yes.
For those who don't know, can you explain what VPN is?
So VPN is the governing body of pizza culture from Naples. So basically, it oversees all of the people opening up true Neapolitan pizzerias in the United States and internationally as well. They have two different, they have VPN International and they have VPN Americas.
Wow. And that's to make sure that no one's calling it something that it's actually not?
Correct. And really, pizza to people from Naples and in Italy is a huge part of the culture. And they wanted to preserve that and not have it kind of bastardized in the sense of, people in America, all right, this is pizza and we're going to add this and we're going to put pineapples on it. So the VPN kind of has a guideline set for that, and it takes a little bit of time to get that certification.
Wow.
You have to go through a little bit to prove what you're doing is true Neapolitan pizza.
Definitely. So that really says a lot about what you're doing.
It does, yeah. So that's Basta, and then Betula's is a hybrid. We went to Brooklyn, we ate at a bunch of places, and took some inspiration and tried to figure out how we could come up with something that was good for delivery, had consistency. You could heat it up the next day. I mean, we tested 30 to 40 different recipes to get to this one.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, I hear pretty cool things about the pizza oven at Betula. It's a little bit different. It has a rotation. How does it work in terms of cooking the pizza that way?
So it has a rotating stone. You can change directions. It's got this digital readout panel, so you can control it all. You can actually control the heat from the bottom of the pizza stone to the top of the oven itself.
Wow. So it kind of cooks from both.
Yeah, you can really fine tune the oven, and it's all gas fired. So it's a really amazing oven to work with, and it was a learning curve for all of us. You know, coming from Basta, where it's all wood fired and everything
Yeah.
is based upon the cook maneuvering the pizza.
Right.
Where here, it's kind of like you put the pizza in, you know, you keep an eye on it and keep your times correct, and it comes out wonderful. It really
That's
does.
just right.
It does.
That's awesome. Now, what else can we find on the menu? We know we've got sandwiches, we've got pizza. Are you also doing pasta? I know I saw on your menu a roasted chicken platter. Can you tell me a little bit about what else we can find on the menu?
Yeah, so you know, we also, being a neighborhood style
Yeah.
restaurant where it's located, we wanted to have enough for, you know, everyone in the family. So we
Definitely.
have, as you said, pizza, we have sandwiches, we have fresh pasta, we have a few fresh pasta entrees. We also have the roasted chicken dinner that we were talking about, which is basically a confit chicken that we soak in a salt solution for a couple days and then poach in olive oil.
Wow.
So that's a big feature as well. And we also have desserts. We have house-made cannolis, and we have an apple mousse cake that we make as well.
Oh my God, that sounds too good. So you guys are covering all the bases.
Correct.
Awesome. So really, if you're looking for family style, or if you're looking for more of a fine dining, romantic atmosphere, Basta and Betzola have both ends covered.
They do.
Awesome. Now, do you have any favorites that you definitely at at Betzola that really stand out to you, aside from the pizza, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I think the fresh pasta is great. You know,
Definitely.
I can't help but always go towards the fresh pasta because it's a labor of love. You know, and creating it and seeing it finished and people enjoying it is probably my favorite part.
Of course. And now I have to ask, because you mentioned it, how do you feel about pineapple on pizza? Is it a sin, or is it like, no, it's culinary genius?
My personal opinion,
Yes.
as a chef, my personal opinion is a no.
It's a no.
It's a no.
Okay, so here, you're basically like a pizza connoisseur at
Yeah,
this point.
I would like to think so.
Yes, so, and it's a no from you.
It's a no for me,
Okay.
but to each his own. You know, everybody has their own
Yeah.
idea of what they like, and you know, you can't really tell people what to have. But I think for me, simplicity is the best on pizza. You know,
Definitely.
pepperoni, cheese, basil. That's it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Can you tell us the addresses of both locations so we can definitely make sure we check out both spots?
Yes. So Basta is 2195 Broad Street in Patuxent Village in Cranston, and Betula is at 44 Rolfe Square in Cranston as well.
Awesome. So definitely check out Basta, which has been in the community for a long time, and Betula, the new sister restaurant. Newly opened, lots of great things to offer at both spots. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Awesome. And don't go anywhere because we have our second guest coming right up. Thanks for tuning back in. We are live here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center with our second guest, Jamie Antognano. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Great job with the last name.
I think you're going to be teaching me some Italian today.
A little bit, yeah.
Definitely.
It sounded good so far.
Yes. So, Jamie, you are from Angelo's.
Civita Farnese.
Civita Farnese.
Yeah, very good.
I'm going to be speaking Italian by the end of this section.
Fluent.
Definitely. So, Angelo's has been a real true staple on Federal Hill for 95 years.
95 years this year, since 1924.
So incredible. You know, I have just so many childhood memories going into Angelo's, and it's just such a nice, wonderful place to have here in Providence.
Thank you. Yeah,
Definitely.
so it started in 1924, 95-year celebration starting this year, so we're incredibly excited.
And so 5 years, it's going to be 100, and that's just incredible.
Oh, yeah. Endless party. Endless party.
We're going into a 5-year-long party at Angelo's right now, so
ready.
make sure you get your dancing pants on and head over there.
Exactly.
Awesome. So please tell me a little bit about yourself,
Okay.
your role at the restaurant, family-owned, operated business.
Yes.
You must have to fill a lot of different roles.
Oh,
so
every
what is it
shoe.
like for you in your position at Angelo's?
Well, little background, I started out in the corporate world in business, so not in the food industry whatsoever.
So this is very different.
Very different, but I've worked at the restaurant since I was a little girl, so
Okay.
true family style
Yes.
restaurant, but
Yeah.
came on board, and then day to day is everything. I was a bartender on Sunday, I was in the kitchen last night,
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
a manager today, so it's truly day to day, and either my father and I are there every single day
Oh, wow.
to make sure that the business is running smoothly.
Wow.
So.
And your so mom and dad are both at the restaurant.
Mom and dad are both at the restaurant. My mom does all the baking, she does all the bookkeeping, and my dad's there every single day with me, so it's so exciting.
That is so nice to be able to spend time with your family in that atmosphere and really get to work together. I'm sure that like sometimes it gets crazy, but really to have that kind of support at work all the time is just fantastic.
Oh yeah, we haven't killed each other yet. We've been
That's a good
we've
sign.
Been close.
Yeah.
We've been close. My dad's the third generation. He had it for 30 years this year.
Oh my goodness, 30 years for
Oh
him.
yeah, and
Okay.
then I'm the fourth generation, so it's been a pleasure spending time with him and working with him every day.
So you, I'm sure, were able to learn a lot from your dad.
Oh, every day. Every day I learn something new, all the history, because 95 years is a lot to squeeze in.
Definitely.
So I learn something new every day, especially from our guests, too. The customers have been dining with us for 40-plus years, 50-plus years,
Yeah.
and the memories that they have are truly special.
Of course. Now, Angelo's truly has a very rich history, starting, opening in 1924.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about how it got started and, some of those historical monuments along the way.
So Civita Farnese, Civita City, so kind of like a Paese.
Okay.
And then Farnese is a small town 125 miles northwest of Rome, so central Italy.
Wow.
And the original owner, Angelo Matro di Casa, which means master of the house, so
That's
learning
okay,
more
so-
Italy
yes,
for you.
okay.
Italian. He came to America to start this restaurant, and that's where all the recipes originated from.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
the restaurants, the recipes that we're eating today
Yes.
are really from 1924
Exactly.
when you came here from
exactly.
Italy.
Not the spaghetti donuts, but the veal and peppers.
What, they didn't have spaghetti in 1924?
No,
Oh, that's so
you know
weird.
what? I don't think they had those then.
Not yet, not yet. That's a little bit before the time.
Yeah, but our house sauce recipe, our veal and peppers recipe,
Wow.
our brajol, our tripe, everything is from 1924.
Yes, and now you're definitely known for like great quality food, but for an awesome price.
And that's our motto. We want to be the best quality, the best price, and fast service. We pride ourselves of greeting you at the door. We know your order when you sit down, and we're ready to rock and roll.
That is just awesome.
Yeah.
Now, one of my favorite dishes that I know has been on the menu since the beginning is the meatballs and fries.
Yes.
So tell me about this dish, like where it got its roots from and what we can expect.
You know, we have people come in, they're like, I just ordered meatballs. I didn't want the fries with that. And we're like, no,
it goes with it.
Don't, you're getting extra fries. You're fine.
Nice.
But the dish originated because during the Great Depression, our restaurant was, blue-collar families coming in that didn't
Definitely.
have a lot of money. They used to barter with the waiters, being like, I'll pay you later, don't
Oh,
worry.
no.
But we used to serve meatballs, and Angelo added the french fries for extra starch so
Oh,
that
wow.
if they couldn't have a next meal, they had something to fill them up in
Something
their stomach.
filling, the meatballs are a little bit heavy, but the french fries will definitely, the carbs will fill you up. keep you
Exactly.
going.
So when they didn't know when their next
Wow.
meal was going to be, he just kept adding french fries so that it was an affordable meal to carry people on through the Great Depression.
That is amazing. So
Yeah.
not only, were you a big part of the community, you were actually helping to literally feed the community and keep them going through a rough time.
Exactly, and that's why we're the originators of the half order as well, because during the Great Depression, when people couldn't afford a full-size meal, we did half orders. So
Oh,
people could
that's so
afford food
amazing.
during the Great Depression.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
And now it's carried through today.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, 4
and
generations strong.
Your red sauce. It's been around for 95
So
years.
good.
Came over from Italy. Tell me about it. You make it fresh every day.
Fresh every day. Our chef's been with us for 40 plus years. He started when he was 16 and he's been with us ever since. But our red sauce truly starts like your grandma's sauce. It is onions, garlic, oil, starts from scratch.
All those good
simmers,
flavors simmering
oh,
together.
Yeah. You walk in the morning and you smell it and it's amazing and it's made fresh every single day. We use Saporito tomatoes, so they're very high quality tomatoes and it's phenomenal.
That is awesome. I have to say that I love red sauce. Like, I'm not even kidding.
You can put it on everything.
You could put a jar of red sauce in front of me. Like, I'm going to just eat this.
That's why the red sauce is here.
I just love red sauce. And so I'm a little bit critical, and I adore your red sauce.
Thank you.
I absolutely love it. And you can just tell, you know, you go out to eat, especially if you're going out to an Italian restaurant, you cannot use canned tomato sauce. It is an absolute sin.
Yeah, I couldn't
have
even
to
look
make,
at you.
No, how dare you?
That's an insult to me.
No. So you guys are really doing it right. So what do we have here? This is another one of your classic staple dishes.
Yes. So 1924 recipe. This is our veal and peppers right here. So it's stewed veal and peppers. It simmers. It sits for hours. So
nice and tender.
Nice and tender. Melts in your mouth. It's like butter. But this starts out the same way. You have your garlic. You have your onions and your oil. You reduce it down and you start the sauce. And our chef, it's on the stove for hours and just simmers and it's amazing. It's the best sauce in the house. You take the sauce, you put it on pasta, you're living the life.
Genius.
Yes. You don't need anything else.
Yes. So we know we have these classic dishes from 1924. They've been around for 95 years. But you're also adding some new fresh dishes to the menu as well.
So spaghetti
Exhibit
donuts.
A, spaghetti donuts, and I am just like over the moon. I cannot wait to try one of these.
We brought them on board about 6 months ago.
Yeah, and they've been a huge hit.
Taken off.
Yes.
So this is our original red sauce. So all it is, spaghetti donuts, is red sauce, cheese, pasta, and egg just to bind it, and you bake it, and they're phenomenal. But we do pink vodka sauce, Alfredo, pesto, mac and cheese.
That is crazy.
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Awesome.
But other than that, some new dishes, we are airing on the healthy side as well because you know you have your red sauce and your pasta. Someday you're feeling something healthy,
and
but
you need something light.
Yeah, exactly. So instead of like a chicken parm, we have our spring chicken, which is a chicken cutlet that's baked and it has fresh greens and balsamic and tomatoes and everything on top of it. It's really good.
Oh my God, that just sounds like refreshing.
Yeah. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice.
But still keeping to those classic Italian style roots and, you know, staying true to where you're coming from.
Yep, and everything's still fresh every single day. So
that is amazing.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on 100 years. We're 5 years away, but like 95 years is certainly something to celebrate.
Oh,
and every year up until then, you've got something going on. So what is in the works? What are we planning to party with for the 100 years?
Well, we're keeping it a little close to vest right now. We're trying to do some surprises.
Definitely.
But it really is going to be just celebrating all of the history, all of the people that have walked through these doors. You know, you have your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, the politicians that have come through the city, the artists, the musicians, all the pictures that are hung on our walls. So celebrating Providence, celebrating the restaurant, celebrating our guests. And I think that's truly special. We have wait staff and our chef, again, who've been here 30 plus years, 40 plus years with us and celebrating them and their memories. So
they definitely deserve to be celebrated for being there for that long and, you know, being a part, at that point they're a part of the family.
They are. Oh yeah, all of our employees are part of the family.
Of course, and I'm sure that everyone who, like myself, has those memories at Angelo's, you're going to want to come and party. You're going to want to see the space and have that nostalgia kind of come rushing back to you. You know, I just remember the train going, I'd put the quarter in and it would go around the top of the restaurant. So the train is still there?
The train is still there.
Oh my gosh.
Fully operational. All of the money from the train goes to our True charities. So we've raised over $20,000 to date with all the quarters.
What?
Oh yeah, and then we really do base it on children's charities. We are a family restaurant, so we really want to support families. But we change the charity every single month. So we've done Hasbro for Christmas. We pooled all money to buy the cars for the kids that are going down to Hasbro for surgery.
Wow. Oh my God, because they drive the cars from their waiting room to the operation room. Oh my God, that is just so sweet.
Yeah, so we really do try to give back to the community in every way that we can, so a train's a great way to do that.
That is so fantastic. Yes. And now, not too long ago, you did some renovations, kind of updates.
Yes.
You know, added a new bar. So talk to me about your bar program and what you guys are pouring.
So in 2006, we did a huge renovation. We did have a bar. We only had 3 liquors before the renovation.
That's not enough.
Oh no, we had vodka, rum, and like gin. It was very small.
You're like, what?
It was the basics. You could get by with that.
So now you've quite expanded.
Now we've expanded, and we're doing even more. We started doing seasonal cocktail lists. So doing everything from, in the summer we had frozen drinks to blueberry vodka lemonades to a lot of different things, but also bringing back your classics. We have an old Italian that is, a lot of our regulars get this all the time. It's our house Burgundy wine with orange soda, and they love it.
Really?
Oh yeah, we're bringing it back old school, but bringing some new things as well. So
I mean,
it's been
I think
really exciting.
that's awesome, especially if they have a connection to it. I remember as a kid, my grandmother making wine with ginger ale in it.
Yep, exactly.
It's a little spritz. It's like a wine
it's a
spritz,
little-
and that extra flavor of sweetness. Yeah, that is awesome.
But we have everything to Aperol spritzes, to old fashions, to Manhattans. We have an Atwell's old fashioned that's actually a regular old fashioned, but finished off with bourbon barrel aged red wine, so it kind of gives it a different kind of take on it.
Awesome.
So bringing in some really cool cocktails, and it's going to be continuing. We're working on our spring menu now, so we're getting some really good ideas.
Oh, okay. So we definitely should go in and check out not only your new updates to the menu, but also to the drinks.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yeah, and we're really highlighting and using our bar more and more, and it's been really fun.
Definitely. Now, you guys have some fun events in the works. Or I've seen that you've been doing some events.
Yes.
What have you been having fun with?
Everything. So
bit of everything.
we've worked with local yoga companies. I know you know Zen Mafia.
Yes, I do. Zen Mafia is amazing.
Yes, they do a lot of yoga with restaurants and things like that. So we've been having brunch at the restaurant with yoga. We've been doing paint nights. Currently, what we have in the work is Valentine's Day is in 2 weeks. And we're doing a Valentine's Day paint night. It's like a glass of wine with a heart. It's really cute.
So sweet.
And then we're also doing other kind of programs to help celebrate our 95 years.
Yes.
We're doing Angelo's Love Story. And what it is everyone is writing in if you've had your first date, your wedding rehearsal dinner, if you met at Angelo's, write in, tell us your story. The links are all online. And then the winner, we actually own the only house on Atwells Avenue that's residential.
Really?
And we turned it into an Airbnb. It's the original owners of the restaurant.
Oh my God.
Yep, so we brought it back to its 1927 roots, and whoever gets to wins a 2-night romantic getaway at the Airbnb.
Oh my God, that is
really cool.
so. Now I'm like, okay, now I have to go and write about the date that I had there
right?
because that's amazing.
Yeah, so we've gotten
That's
a
such a
lot of
great
great
idea.
submissions so far. And that's
Yeah.
more of collecting the memories and collecting the history that have happened.
Makes it
throughout
more
the
special
95
for you
years.
guys as the family. And to
Exactly.
look back at all of everything that has happened at the restaurant.
Yep, and all the lives that we've touched, and it
Yes.
really means a lot. And that's what our restaurant's really about, is the family and the community and everything like that.
You're making it just sound so special, and it really
It
is.
is. It
really.
is.
That's amazing. Now, before we close out, tell me what probably your favorite dish. Like, what would you eat the most at the restaurant?
Oof, it's really tough. It would have to be between the veal and peppers, because
Yes.
it melts in your mouth, or our chicken parm.
Chicken
Our
parm.
chicken
You
parm.
cannot go wrong with chicken
you
parm.
can't beat our chicken parm.
No way.
I will put ours up in a contest. It is phenomenal, but we should have a chicken parm cook-off. That's all I'm saying. But
I'm gonna have to judge that.
I think you
because
should.
I need in extra red sauce on the side.
Yep, exactly. But no, I can't get enough of our chicken parm, and then our homemade pasta as well is phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That is just all so great in every aspect.
Yeah, you can't get enough of it.
Definitely.
But you can't go wrong with Italian.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us
Of
today
course,
and
thank you
sharing
for
all of your
having me.
special memories and fun times at Angelo's.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Don't go anywhere because we have our third guest, with this time with some sweets coming right up. so much for tuning back in. We are live here at the Navigate Carnegie Broadcast Center. We just talked about lots of delicious, carb-filled Italian food, and we saw the spaghetti donuts from Angelo's, and now we're moving into a more sweet donut. Yeah, Lori, thank you so much for joining us from PBD Donuts.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Now, you guys have really taken Providence, and I want to say all of New England, by storm. You guys are really making some big waves in the city. Definitely.
Sweet.
Yes. I have to say, I think it was maybe like 2 years ago that the donut craze really hit, and everybody was looking for that really fun donut, and you guys are just like, oh, we've got that.
Yeah, I wish it sounded that confident, coming from us. Coming into it, I honestly we would never think that we'd be here now, we're starting a few years ago.
Definitely.
So it's really cool.
So tell me a little bit about your background. What made you want to open a donut shop, and what was your vision when you were going into this?
So donuts were really new to me. I never I learned how to doing donuts with PB Donuts. I never did donuents before this.
This is your first experience
first
with
time
donuts.
ever.
Well, good job.
So not bad. I went to school at Johnson & Wales for baking and pastry. My husband, Paul, he was a business background, so I would say we were the perfect team. He knew about branding and how to get us started. I remember one of the first questions he asked me is what do you want PB Donuts to represent? And that was one of the hardest questions.
So what was the answer?
I think I just showed him a bunch of Pinterest boards.
Yes.
And I was
I want it to look like this.
Yeah, I wanted this is the kind of vibe I want.
This is my vibe.
I want it to be chill but fun.
And definitely delicious.
And obviously delicious. And I remember he made a mock up storyboard of what PB Donuts would be, and I was yeah, that's it.
This is it. You
nailed
it.
And so I went to school for culinary or baking and pastry, and
so you guys are a dynamic duo.
Yeah. He's so good at all. He's now he's now the talk. He's the voice of PB Donuts. So all that sass that you usually see is Paul.
That's good to know. I thought it was you.
No, it's Paul. It's Paul now. It used to be me, and now I'm more focused in the kitchen and stuff. So, but I've always wanted to open up my own business, and Paul has he's had his own business before, so
he knew.
He knew kind of how to do it, and we just went for it.
That is just too cool.
Our kitchen started smelling like French fries too often, so he was you need to get out of here.
Do something else.
No,
more French fries. Let's have
a bigger kitchen somewhere else.
Yeah, definitely. Now, where did you get your start? You weren't in the location that you're in now.
Right. So at first we started. I would just make donuts out of my kitchen, and I would have this huge vat of oil because I didn't know what to do with it. And there was a second bedroom, and it was not cool. It was not nice. All the parties, I'm oh, it's a chair, just sit on the oil.
It's pretty okay.
And our first start was at Hope in Maine.
Nice.
So we started with wholesale. The first weekend we did wholesale. We had 4 dozen on order at Angelina's and at. I can't remember, for some reason I'm blanking out. But we had 2 wholesalers, and the first weekend was 4 dozen donuts, and the second weekend was 22 dozen donuts.
Oh my God.
And I was like,
wow, okay.
And the fryer held 9 donuts at a time.
So you're we've got to be working.
Yeah, and we were doing the best we could, and we were all myself and my friends were still working full-time jobs.
Wow.
So
it's a lot to take on.
We were at Hope and Maine for 2 weeks when we knew we had to find a new space.
Yeah.
And then I used to work at Sin, which was on Allen's Ave at the time, and she had this open space. She was test out your concept in a way, and it was a great way for us before signing any sort of lease to do that. So we moved to Sin probably a month or 2 later, and we were there for 3 months before we outgrew that space.
Very quick. Everything happened super fast.
It was we would go in at 10 p.m., work until 7 a.m., and we were only able to sell, limit 4 donuts a person, and we'd still sell it by 9 a.m.
Incredible.
And I was
yes.
Okay. And then Paul would, at that point, he would just drive around every day, all throughout Providence.
Trying to
find
for
a new space.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
so the demand was just nuts.
Yeah.
It was hard to keep up. Yeah.
Couldn't keep up. And
oh my God. Now, what did you do to get the word out at that point? I feel like you guys had kind of a buzz before you even really
before we started selling.
Yeah.
And I think it was just building that brand of PB Donuts. And we still have the first original posts that I posted.
Yeah.
They're really embarrassing, but if you scroll back,
sometimes it's good to go back to the very beginning. And say,
I posted a photo one time of I'm sick, sorry I can't post, and it's a picture of vitamin C. I don't know why I did that.
It's all right.
But and like Johnny Clam Cakes, or
Yes.
Food Fights, they would like start reposting us, and I think that's kind of what started getting
on
and
social
there was
media. It kind of got you out.
Exactly, it was social media, and like there was nothing around that was like that here. Like, you know, these donuts weren't around Providence, so I think that was also to our advantage.
Right.
So it was something new, and people were excited about it.
Yes. So like you said, these weren't your average donuts. They're not like what you would see, you know, at Dunkin' Donuts, or just like, you know, standard glazed or frosted.
Yeah.
I'm sure you still have those classics
we
still.
do, yeah.
But you guys are doing like insane things.
Yeah.
Now, where do you, first of all, that's what I need to ask. Where do you come up with these ideas? Because I had a donut, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that had waffles, pancakes, bacon, and maple frosting and cream filling. And I'm like, how did they even like think about adding all of this, never mind even like conceptualizing actually getting it all done?
Yeah, you know what, like our team has gotten so big since we first started, and we have so many people from so many different backgrounds, which has been so helpful. We have people who've worked in vegan bakeries, worked in bread, gluten-free, and plated desserts. So I think that's been super helpful in getting like all these different ideas out. And whenever we have an idea, I always like, first thing I do is like Pinterest it. I look it up and see how can it be deconstructed, how can it be turned like different.
Okay.
So if we ever do like a banana split during the summer, I'll look up banana split like plated desserts and see how different people do it in that sense, and how I can apply that to a donut. And we try to see the donut as like a plate, like a palette, or something to build off of.
Definitely.
And as for like the crazy for like fried chicken, like that breakfast thing, like I don't know. I'm always like, we're PB Donuts, and
we can do whatever we want.
We could do anything. We could do whatever
you want. At this point, I feel like you guys are just like, I'll put whatever I want on a donut.
We'll try whatever, and
it's going to be really good.
Yeah, and we're going to make sure it's really good.
Yes.
But like, Paul and I, like, we're the only, you know, we
say
yes,
shots.
We call the shots. We don't have to ask or go to anybody to like ask for permission. So if we want to do it, we want to do it. And we like to stay. I think that's something that's also helped us. It's just staying on trend.
Yeah.
I keep mentioning this, but like we talked about earlier, how we posted a photo of like a color swatch. Like Kylie Jenner, like she always does like color swatches with like her lipsticks.
Yes.
We did like a glaze one, and it's the most likes we've ever gotten on a photo.
No way.
It wasn't even a donut, but it's like it's those things that you keep on trend.
It's relevant.
You have to keep relevant with everything.
Yes.
And so like I think that's also super important for a business.
In regards to that, you guys love Drake.
Yeah.
Big fans of Drake.
Yeah.
Now, what donut would you give Drake if he called you up and he said, you guys have been tagging me in a million pictures, and I've heard really awesome things.
I don't even know if I'd answer the phone.
So I can't even talk to you.
Like, I don't even know. Honestly, people are like, what if he comes to the shop? I'm like, I don't even know if I want to be there.
No,
I want to like
too much
look
anxiety.
And I just want to see. I want him like tagged in a photo.
Yeah.
And
I want to see his reaction through a window of him eating.
Yeah. I don't know what I would do. I think I don't know. I don't know if I feel like I could see him being like a strawberry frosted.
I could get behind that.
Right, like super simple.
Yeah.
but like delicious.
I love a strawberry
I know, I do
donut.
too.
I love
maybe
strawberry
that'll be on our menu next month. Usually it's just things I crave.
You heard it here. Definitely. So let's see what you brought today. Oh my God! And now these are not just little donuts. These are actually like I'm wondering. Like, does everyone eat the whole thing?
Yeah,
when I have them, I have to eat it in like 2 sittings. Like, I'll eat like half, and then the next day I'll eat it, and it's still just so good. So you guys have different types of donuts.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me about, the different varieties that you have. You have like brioche, you have filled. So, and then this one's a little bit different, so I want to pull him out too.
So when we first opened, we only carried brioche donuts, and I feel like we take things a little slower in the sense of introducing new types of styles of donuts because we want to be able to perfect the recipe,
of course,
and make sure we'll do a bunch of test batches. We'll give it away. We just want to get like what we put out. We want to stand behind,
of course.
So we offer brioche style, which is our most popular style, which is like all of these.
Okay. So they're big, thick, fluffy.
Yeah, just butter.
Yeah.
Just a lot of butter. So
good.
Delicious. And then we have our old fashioned, which is like a little more, there's no yeast in it, so it's like a bit more dense, something that you like have with coffee. And sometimes we usually have like 2 donuts a month that are cut in half and filled with something, so it kind of gives it like a more lighter texture.
Fun.
And then we also offer cake donuts, so we do a blueberry cake, carrot cake. Those are ones that are like every month staples.
Yes.
And then we offer crullers, which are so good. Those are my favorite, like
are
off
they?
the menu. Yeah, they're so good.
Wow. And you always have them.
We always have crullers, and I will say, like, we kill the cruller game.
Definitely.
Like, it's so good. And we just started offering flourless donuts, like cake donuts. So they're not gluten-free because we're not a gluten-free facility.
Okay, but they don't actually have...
They don't have any flour. Like, you don't have any, like... Yeah, and those are really good. And then we also offer... We also filled donuts, which is the brioche style, filled with, you know, all of our homemade jams or mousses or anything like that.
So amazing.
And we're slowly working on like a red velvet cake. We're always just trying to like improve and work on new recipes to bring out.
So really quick, can you run me through what we have here?
So this is our birthday cake. So it's a chocolate old-fashioned filled with a Dunkaroo filling and then a vanilla drizzle. This is our maple bacon. It's a maple glaze bacon and vanilla drizzle. And then we have our Swiss Miss. So we make an in-house Swiss Miss like mixture. And then we make that into a glaze with mini chocolate chips and a homemade toasted marshmallow. And then our salted caramel turtle, so it's dipped in just full-on caramel. And then toasted pecans, chocolate drizzle, and a piece of chocolate sea salt bark.
Wow.
And then our malasada, which is...
That's this one?
Yeah. Which is dipped in like butter and granulated sugar and then dusted with powdered sugar.
I think if I don't take this home to my mother and she's watching this, she is going to be upset with me. Yes.
And then our classic coffee milk. So we actually get our coffee syrup from Borealis Coffee. He makes her own. He reduces and makes his own syrup and then gives it to us. And then we make a coffee milk glaze with crushed espresso beans on the side.
So amazing.
Yeah.
Now what I love is that, you know, you guys could just say, we're going to make a Swiss Miss donut and we're going to go out and get a marshmallow and torch it and put it on top. But you guys are making everything from scratch. Yeah. You know, I've seen all sorts of crazy things that you're putting on top of a donut. You guys did a donut with a piece of cake on top, and you're making all of that. It's incredible. It's all from scratch.
Yeah, and that's something that I've always wanted, like always strived for. Even when it was a team of 5, we've always wanted to make everything from in-house. Because, you know, if people are coming to get a specialty donut, like if I'm going to get a specialty donut, I just don't want to see a store-bought marshmallow on top of a donut. You know, like something in-house and showing the customers that we care and we're putting everything into it.
Yes,
so
it definitely shows.
Yes.
So what would you say your most popular style or flavor of donut has been?
Dunkaroo brioche.
Dunkaroo, that's 100%. What I was going to say. It has got to be Dunkaroo. So
100.
Throwing it back to, you know, every 90s kid's like lunchbox. You got Dunkaroo frosting, so what goes on to this donut?
So we make our own in-house like Dunkaroo frosting, which we actually, when we were first making it, we had to order, because they don't sell Dunkaroos in the States anymore, we had to order it from Canada, and it was like $30 for a 4-pack.
Oh my God.
And I was
like, worth it.
Yeah, it was good, but ours is definitely better.
Yes.
And so like we got like inspiration from that, and we just made this frosting, and we made it for our first 90s menu, and we took it off the menu, and we would get emails like bring back the Dunkaroo, so which is why we bring it back once a week. Yeah. And then we do like a crushed graham cracker side crumb, and then some vanilla sprinkles on top. So it's super simple, but it just reminds you of like, it's just nostalgia.
Yeah, all the way. Now you guys have a whole like 90s theme.
Every March.
Every March.
Yeah.
Okay, so all March it's 90s theme. So how often do we turn the menu over?
Every month.
Every month. Okay, yes. So there's a fresh menu,
Every
all
month.
New donuts. You're like, this is exhausting.
Like, I know,
I'm getting ready.
I'm like, it's like 30 menu items. Like for the past almost 3 years, we've been coming up with almost 30 different donuts.
Oh my gosh.
Which is why we love March, because it's,
you're like,
we already know what we're
We
doing.
can just go back to what we're doing.
I know what we're doing.
Oh my God.
So
that is amazing. So you get to keep things seasonal and like always up to date with what's going on and, you know, what's local and fresh.
And it's always fun because like we'll look back at old menus. So like this past, I think October, we did a Snickers filled donut. So we did one last year, and we were able to be like, okay, how can we improve on this Snickers donut?
Cool.
So kind of like go back and see how can we make it better? Like what can we do to make it, you know, just make it better.
Bring something back, new and improved 2.0
Exactly.
Snickers. Yeah.
And so that's what we've like, now that we've been open for like past 2 years, we're able to look back and see what we can do.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, you guys have recently almost doubled in size. Is that correct? So you're able to do a little expansion. Tell me about the new space.
That was so exciting. So our space before was super tiny. Our kitchen was so tiny. We were literally like shoulder to shoulder. It was, you know, I have no regret whatsoever. I think it really built our team, and it built ourselves on like spatial awareness, and the fact that we were able to do 2 Thanksgivings in that kitchen was so impressive.
Yes.
And so recently, actually it was like probably last spring is when my husband came up with the idea of, you know, we should just make next door into a kitchen. And we're like, okay. And then
all right.
Yeah. And then like almost like a year later, we're here. And it's been great. So now we're able to like fit more people inside.
That's awesome.
We have like a whole sprinkle wall now, and then we've
Fun.
got a neon sign made for the inside of the shop, which is something that we've always wanted to do. And now our kitchen is just like so much more can be done. We can make so much more stuff in house. We have so much more space, and it's just overall like better vibe.
Awesome.
So it's really great.
Now, how many donuts on average do you make a day?
Probably like 1,000 to 1,200 during the week.
I was not expecting you to say 1,000.
Oh, really?
Oh my God.
Yeah, and then weekends, like with these past few, it's when it's cold, people love donuts.
They're coming out. They want
they
something
come
like,
out. They want something warm and homey. So on the weekends, we're closer to like 2,000.
Wow. So
on Saturdays and Sundays.
you were making 1,000 or 2,000 donuts in a small kitchen.
Yeah, we were.
Oh my
And even
gosh.
on Thanksgiving, we were pushing like 3,500. And it was like, I don't even know where we put all this.
You were selling out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that is like crazy,
Yeah.
crazy.
I know.
So the demand is there. People must come in and get like 2 dozen at a time.
Yeah, some people do, and some people just grab a donut and like sit down and just drink coffee, and it's
hang
really
out.
cool to see that.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you guys are closed on Mondays for a very well-deserved break after making literally thousands and thousands of donuts over the past 7 days. So what are you guys doing with the space on Monday nights?
So we did it a little bit last year, and then through the construction, we had to like press pause just because of everything that was going on.
Definitely.
We like to do an after-hours event, and it's really great. It's offering something that we usually don't offer during the day when we're open.
Yeah.
And we offer beer and ciders, which is like we just as an alternative for a Monday night out.
Yeah.
Especially because like usually Monday nights are industry nights.
Yeah.
So a lot of people
restaurants are closed on
Exactly.
Monday nights, and you're like, oh, my favorite spot's closed. Where am I going to go?
Go get a chicken and waffle donut. Like, why not?
Chicken and, no, I don't know if you guys heard, chicken and waffle donut.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing that you guys do.
We did that this past Monday, and it was like the busiest after hours we've ever done. So we're definitely going to bring it back like really soon. Because we sold out in an hour and 15 minutes.
And a lot of these are collaborations with other people, right?
Yeah, so it's super important. Like, we, especially for after hours events, we want to go as extra as we can and like partner with as many people as we can. So this past weekend we did it with Bucktown and Burgundian and then Long Live. So we have a bunch of ideas for the future, and we're doing a crazy collab in March. So keep a lookout. And it's going to be on a Saturday too.
Ooh, okay.
So it's going to be an after hours on a Saturday, which will be the first. But keep a lookout for that. It's going to be awesome.
Definitely.
Awesome.
That is a lot of fun. So we get like powerhouse people, Burgundian, Bucktown, like, so the whole thing wrapped up in a package is going to be like stellar.
Yeah, and it's great because like we're partnering with all these people, and they're not just like other businesses. Like they've turned into our friends, and I think that's what's been really beneficial of all these after hours and all these collabs that we did. Like our first collab was with the Friendsgiving donut with Bucktown.
Yes.
And we've just formed like this friendship, and it's been really great.
So much fun.
Yeah.
You guys, I know, you guys are really busy, but you must have fun while you're there.
Oh, totally. It's great. It's fun just like testing recipes, and it's fun that what I went to school for, what I wanted to do for a living is what I'm doing for a living.
Isn't that amazing? It's a dream.
Really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So today is the 30th, so you will have a new menu coming up very soon.
Next week.
Okay, so next week.
Next week, yeah. We always do it on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. So where can we follow you on Instagram so we can make sure we keep an eye out for the new menu and weekend specials that you run?
Weekend specials we always post on our Instagram and Facebook. Just PB Donuts is our Instagram. Always posting on our stories. And usually if we do like a big collab or a big like a special, like we're doing a special tomorrow.
Yes.
We'll post it tonight. If we ever post specials, it's usually around 6:30 the night before.
Okay.
That we'll post.
So we'll have to keep an eye out so you can be ready to get there. It's usually around that
time. Yeah, and same
Nice.
with the menu. Menu we'll always post the Monday before around 6:30, 7 o'clock. But any special, like anytime we sell out of something, especially like a special, we always post it on our stories.
Right away. So
yeah,
if you're
like
coming
right
for
away.
that special, you're going to know it
Right
in
away.
advance. Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, for those who might be interested in a special occasion or just ordering a dozen donuts for the weekend because their friends are in town, what can we do in order to make sure we get our hands on some?
Info at PB Donuts, and you can email us for any like special events. There's also on our website, there's a contact form for weddings and special events, and there's also a new order form that's been really, really great. And you just fill out exactly what you want, and it shoots us an email, and you get a confirmation as well.
Awesome.
And you don't have to wait in line.
There you go. Kind of beat the system
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Just don't tell anybody.
And I've seen, it's a secret, it's a secret. Now I've seen really fun like donut hole towers for like weddings and special occasions.
Holidays
That
and
is
everything.
so much fun, and what a great idea to kind of add to that nice special touch for a dessert table or a party, or
Anything.
birthday party, a cake, whatever, a
Yeah,
donut tower.
Donut
yes,
tower.
yes, that
Make a
sounds-
statement.
Absolutely.
I've always loved like croquembouche, so like the cream
Okay.
puff dipped in sugar, and
Yes.
it's just like a tower and like spun sugar, and I've always loved that. Like that had to be like one of my top like visually favorite things.
Yes.
So wanting to recreate something like that was always something that we wanted to do, and we were able to do it.
Yes.
So
Well, needless to say, you guys are absolutely killing it in
Thanks.
every department. We're just so happy to see you guys really, really thriving and like reaching everyone. You guys have people coming from like all over
Yeah, it's
to
really
grab
cool.
your donuts,
It's
which
cool.
is really, really awesome.
I think the coolest part is also like I still do it, but like tag people in food posts.
Yeah.
You know, if you like see something on BuzzFeed, you just like
Yep.
tag a friend. Like we just have comments of tags.
people tagging,
Yeah.
look at this donut, look at this donut.
That's just like the coolest part.
Yeah.
That's the coolest part.
That's
yeah.
how you know that you're doing something
Yeah.
really awesome.
Yeah. I'm like, cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming
Thank
in
you.
today and bringing all of these incredible donuts.
Thanks.
Like, absolutely insane.
course.
So huge, so delicious. We can't wait to dig in. But again, thank you.
Thank
for
you.
sharing all of this fun information about PVD Donuts. Make sure you follow them on Instagram so you can find out all about their new upcoming February menu, any kind of special events and weekend specials that you definitely are going to want to get your hands
Yeah.
on, and information on after hours, which are going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming in. Thank you all for tuning in. Don't go anywhere because we have news editor Kate Nagel coming up very shortly at 4 o'clock. And until next week,